Shit. There we go. I think it should be working now. Wow. So is it working now? Yeah, because it kept saying viewers waiting, not concurrent viewers. I'm like, all right, this is not actually happening. All right, my bad, guys. What is it? 5 minutes? A little about 5 minutes late. Even though I originally scheduled it for 12:30, but I had to bump it a little bit. Yeah, now it's doing the thing. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, I mean, I guess for precautionary reasons that makes sense, but at the same time, it was a little annoying. Basically, I never scheduled a JMH 203. How's it going, Lightning McQueen? Lightning McQueen. Welcome to the stream. And anybody else watching. So originally I had it scheduled for 12:30, but my mom was still here. I knew that she was leaving, but she was still here and kind of making noise and moving about. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready, but let me bump it to 1 o'clock because eventually she's gonna have to leave, and she did. But then there was another 5 minute delay because, well, I mean, I was like 2 or 3 minutes late, but then I went live, and this is the first time that I've ever scheduled a stream. And I discovered today that when you schedule a stream, even if you go live on the software, it will not actually send the feed or get the live feed to viewers and subscribers. So my apologies for that. I had to click on go live. That's why it was scheduled for 1 o'clock, but I didn't go live until like 1:05. Because for like 5 damn minutes, I was over here like, oh, I'm live. I think I'm live. OBS says I'm live. At least I hope so. And finally, I was over here and it kept saying viewers waiting, viewers waiting. And I'm like, why are they still waiting? They're not watching? Nobody's chatting? No, this is weird. And then finally, it's telling me over here, go live. I click go live, and then finally I get the proper dashboard here. And then you guys can see me. And then I can see myself in the app. All right, cool. Lee Truxo, welcome to the stream. Let's fucking go. That's the new catchphrase of the year, apparently. Speaking of let's fucking go, at the exact same week when I'm having some financial troubles, the Deadpool and Wolverine Steelbook is ready to ship, and even they're like, hey, do you have like an actual payment method we could use? And the Marvel Legends Wolverine and Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine are also set to come out. Now, thankfully, without going into specifics, let's just say it's October 22nd. Yesterday, I got the YouTube payout. And it's with that YouTube payout that I finally could tell Amazon, like, hey, here's, I got money now to cover this after paying off, like, bills and stuff like that. I'll be like, all right, I did the calculations, got the money, here you go. Now they're not, I'm not going to say they're not shipping, but now they're taking their time to check the card and to ship the figures in the steelbook to me. So we'll wait and see exactly what happens. But as you guys saw in the title and the thumbnail, we got some things to talk about. Like I said, I knew that my mom's going to be gone, thinking for the 100s. I don't know who's 100ing it. 100? I'm seeing it over here in the little doohickey. But as the title and the thumbnail entails, basically, I'm calling this the Dark Spider Cast for now. I don't know if this is like the inaugural stream where we're gonna make it a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing or a tri-weekly thing. I just don't want any of you guys to kind of hold me to that, because if I say, for example, I skip a week, I don't want it to be like, well, you skipped a week. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, I didn't say I was gonna. Let's just say I don't live in an environment where I could easily just live stream at a set time. Like, I could tell myself that I'm gonna live stream at that set time, and then something is gonna get in the way saying, no, hold up. Plus, I'm still in the process of finding employment, and a steady form of employment. Nothing that's like necessarily contract or anything like that, because that does have its like drawbacks. But you know, I'm still currently trying to find a full-time job to sustain me and the girlfriend in hopes of like moving out and things like that. You know, that search, that hunt, the ultimate hunt. Because in the title and the thumbnail, I keep talking about the state of toy hunting or this toy collecting, but I feel like the actual hunt is trying to find a goddamn place to actually move into and to actually live in and stay living in and be comfortable and not be rich, but not necessarily be like living paycheck to paycheck. But of course, that's in a perfect world at this point, considering how things are going right now with the economy and how things are just fluctuating, such and such. Which is why I try to make it a mission statement that whenever I get like a YouTube payout, that is mainly feeding the YouTube channel as far as like the content, as far as the materials, the figures that get reviewed, etc., the stuff that gets covered. But when it comes to like the extra stuff like food and things like that, I try to make ends meet some other way. And right now that ends meet is selling some of the figures that I don't really display or take up too much space, or have just been kind of in storage and haven't really seen the light too much. So it's pretty much where that's been. But with that housekeeping out of the way, today I want to talk about how McFarlane Toys is pretty much draining our wallets even further. If you know, you know. From this past week, McFarlane has been kind of crazy as far as the reveals, as far as the... I think I actually have a thread that I saved thanks to one of my favorite Twitter accounts, or X accounts, whatever you want to call it, which is... Whoa. That's some news. Hold on, I want to read this. Oh. Interesting. Huh. I'll talk about it right now in a second. But basically, well, there's two things that I kind of want to touch upon really briefly here. Yeah, McFarlane went a little ham. Not just with New York Comic Con, but even prior to New York Comic Con, they were like, this pre-order's dropping, these pre-orders are dropping, this is dropping, and it's a little nuts to the point where I needed to post a community post asking people, are you guys okay? Are your wallets okay? And there was enough feedback and response to that community post that it almost made you kind of go, you know what, this has to be a topic for the live stream. Along with that, I just kind of touched on it a little bit right now. New York Comic Con 2024. McFarlane Toys was there. Marvel Legends was kind of there. It's almost like they kind of wanted to skip it. But they did reveal something that made everyone go, oh my god, even though I'm like, you guys realize this is it. This is practically all they showed. So I just feel like you guys got a crumb and are, you know, jumping up and down and frolicking at this one crumb. And I'm over here like, yeah, but I mean, come on, this is New York Comic Con. They should have been showing more. And instead, they were just like, be excited, bow, and then get out. And that's how sometimes some folks are with Marvel Legends in that regard. But along with that, there were also a couple of other little things that were disclosed at New York Comic Con that were not Marvel Legends or McFarlane Toys that still had to do with Batman, Spider-Man, and even some properties that I genuinely hold very near and dear to my heart. And hearing that they were going to be tackled by certain companies, I was like, yo. And so I kind of want to briefly give my 2 cents on those reveals and those things. Along with that, like I said, the state of toy hunting, how toy hunting has been kind of been, or rather the lack of, with me. And did I delete my Google Keep? What the hell? I had a whole Google Keep with this. There you go. Pulled it up. I just closed the tab. So essentially, other stuff that kind of piqued my interest from New York Comic Con. ACH Figure Arts made some announcements or some kind of like reveals, but it wasn't like as exponential as McFarlane, or there's not that much to talk about with ACH Figure Arts that's pertinent to the channel as far as like anything Batman or Spider-Man related, but they both each got a reveal of some sorts that I was like looking at and going, okay, this is awesome, this is not awesome. What the hell? The dichotomy of ACH Figure Arts has been kind of on a high lately. And then, like I said, the state of toy hunting and collecting, how I've been in regards to the nature of collecting and toy hunting, and whether or not it's been fruitful monetarily or just being happy with it. And then maybe a little bit with Q&A with the chat before I take off. All right. Lightning McQueen, nah, I hear that I just turned 18 and I was looking to move out, and housing right now is crazy. Yeah, all over the place, because the running theme was that, oh, housing is crazy in California. Go somewhere out in Midwest or Florida or up north, and even those. Now we're at the point where that's not even a joke. It's like no, anywhere. Like more and more people are living with their parents, and that used to be like a way to criticize people, but now it's like, what other choice is there? Get my coffee. Can't believe he released that much at once and the hot stuff sold out fast. Well, here's the thing. The hot stuff, let's just say, and I don't want to spoil too much because I do kind of want to talk about this a little bit when we get to that topic of the pre-orders. But the hot stuff, I will admit, objectively speaking, the hot stuff is being made hot on purpose, if that makes any sense. Because either on the cusp of the pandemic, or even I would still go as far as to say 2021, maybe early 2022, that hot stuff would still be available right now. But McFarlane probably thought, let me make a certain amount. I'm not going to say what that amount is, but an amount. And that's why we get the sold out tab quite quickly. Especially when it comes to like certain things that you wouldn't otherwise think would sell out quickly. Let me go over to the McFarlane site, hit the pre-order button. And yeah, I'm telling you, there's some things on here that I'm looking at and going, I'm pretty certain back in like 2022, a full wave would still be available because sometimes people pick and choose which figures they want to buy separately. But when it comes to the whole wave, it's typically still available because people don't want to bundle it that way. But now out of nowhere, that wave is completely gone. I wonder why. Hector Lassiter, welcome to the stream. That big ass bat mug, where did you get it? It was a birthday present from one of my friends back in the day. So I don't know exactly where she got it from, but I'm pretty certain. I'll give you a hint. Like, I don't know exactly what the term of it is, but yeah, it is in fact a Batman mug. Got the traditional, the iconic bat symbol here on the side that made millions when the '89 Batman movie came out. But on this side, I don't know if you guys can read it. Always be yourself, unless you can be Batman. Then always be Batman. Which sounds cool on paper, but that also means that you need to kill your parents. Just a joke, YouTube. Just a joke, because lately streaming services have been kind of crazy with what people have been saying. Like, people have been going crazy lately and getting bans all over the place. And I don't get it. Now I'm in NYC. It's way worse here. How worse? How's the housing over there? I'm legitimately curious, Lightning McQueen. By the way, you say you're in NYC, in New York City. By any chance, have you visited the ACH Figure Arts, or I guess it's called the Tamachi Nation store there? Because with New York Comic Con having just passed. By the way, also, how was the city with New York Comic Con there? Like, did it go crazy as far as traffic, as far as tourists, as far as inflation of prices for certain things like transportation, hotel stays, whatever? Did you notice more people out in the streets? Well, not in that manner, but you get what I mean. Like, in terms of like the hustle and bustle. Did you go to New York Comic Con? Were you able to get some stuff? But I'm definitely envious of New York. I'm envious of New York for a lot of things, food being one of them. New York pizza. I definitely want to try out New York pizza before I die. Authentic New York pizza, not like emulation New York pizza here in California, because I've had did I say emulation? Sorry, I've been thinking about the analog 3D lately. But imitation New York pizza here in California, where they try to do it that thin style, where like they make the pie, as they call it, and they cook you, they warm up the slice for you, and they have you pay by the slice. But at the same time, I recognize that it's not going to be New York pizza until you actually go to New York. Great point about the hype. I was surprised the Wonder Woman sold out so fast. I think I just saw her available, right? Or am I tripping? Because the Armored Batman is sold out. And I gotta be honest, I feel like I'm a little confused why he's sold out. I'm like, it's armored Batman. It's not like he's the default Batman, but he's sold out. Okay, now it's switched. Lee Troxel. I'm looking at the site right now. Let me see if I can switch. It's not working. There we go. Ugh, why does it look like that? There we go. Okay. So obviously you can see right here the 2-pack, the exclusive, which this was also the that's another thing I kind of want to talk about later on once we get to the New York Comic Con reveals. But I just love that he has to stamp the "not a toy" section here at the bottom of the corner because it does sport guns. I wonder how they managed to skirt this. That's interesting. But yeah, you got these two packs completely sold out. Specifically this one, because this was going to be like a whole New York Comic Con thing, and the only way to get this is via the McFarlane Toy Store or Walmart. This one's still readily available, and I think in some other retailers. And then, of course, here you have the complete wave, and the wave is available almost everywhere. But the main reason for why it's sold out is because McFarlane offers this like $20 discount, and then on top of that, if you use the MTS10, you pretty much you either completely cut out the shipping, or you get about like $10-ish, $11 off the shipping, which is basically what happened with me. And then you also have this 2-pack, a 4-pack, where basically they bundle the two packs together. So the only one that you're really not getting is the default Nightmare Batman and the default Armored Batman and then Wonder Woman. But you get the other 4. But these 3 are sold out. Wonder Woman now, though, is in stock. Pre-order. But taking her place is the Armored Suit Batman. Now that one's sold out. But what I was kind of touching upon before is that I just feel like in 2022, some of these figures would not have been sold out. They would still be available right now. The bundles would probably be sold out because, like I said, the money they were able to save. Some of the exclusives, like the 2-pack that was only through either here or Walmart. Okay, but certain figures that I'm looking at and going, they're available everywhere. And sure, you can technically still pre-order through like Amazon, GameStop. I think GameStop is the one that's always in stock, but that's because of the reputation that GameStop has kind of generated for themselves. But at the same time, I'm like, the scarcity is a little questionable. And even I have to criticize McFarlane there. Which is funny, because a lot of people say that I like to gawk McFarlane an awful lot in the videos, specifically with my recent Fondroid video, which took off, and I appreciate you guys for watching it and for engaging with it, for supporting it, regardless of whatever, like I said, regardless of the comments. I'm just glad that people are commenting and liking and engaging with the video. With that said, there were a couple of comments that, say that I have a bias towards McFarlane because I placed it above the Fonjoy. But it's, again, the playability. I'm not saying that it looks better. I just feel like I like it more than the Fonjoy. But, I'm not exactly saying that it looks 100% better in certain angles. And there's certain angles where the Fonjoy does look nice, but then, like I said, the joints kept falling off and all this other bullshit. It was a very frustrating experience just to play with the Fonjoy. It really was. And I'm like, what happened? Because I love the BVS Batfleck Fonjoy. That thing was amazing. And the joints were all solid. Articulation was great. He felt tanky like he's supposed to. The likeness was amazing. Proportion was a little gorilla-esque in terms of like the giant head versus the way that the torso was sized. But outside of that, I'm like, I love that thing. By the way, that's the other thing that I kind of wanted to touch upon really, really quick. I have the tab open over here on Twitter. Hans Zimmer's score for Dune 2 ineligible for Oscars. And according to the Films Update Twitter here via the Variety article, due to surpassing the Academy's limit on pre-existing music. That is a detriment with sequels. Therefore, it cannot be nominated in the Best Original Score category. So apparently, and I'm hoping that this was not a... I'm hoping that this was just like a coincidence or something, but I'm hoping that this was not a product or a symptom of Hans Zimmer being used a little bit too much by I feel like a lot of directors go, I want an epic soundtrack, Hans Zimmer. And then that's it. They don't look at other composers. They don't look at other people. They're just like, Hans Zimmer, go. And at the same time, in equal parts, Hans Zimmer probably overbooks himself. And I'm hoping that that overbooking didn't result in him doing the score for Dune and thinking, we could just use I'll just use the sheets from, the musical sheets, the musical compositions from part 1. And the only brand new stuff is for like the brand new characters, like Austin Butler's character and Florence Pugh's character and Javier Bardem being in this one a little bit more, and Paul's transition into the Messiah, and that was it. And everything else is still the traditional, the singing and the actual sound. And unfortunately, that kind of bit him in the ass, because now it looks like he cannot compete in the Oscars because he used too much music for the first movie. I'm like, yeah, you can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. That's a bummer. Wow. Keep almost hitting the stop streaming button, but I mean to just hit transition. Doomsday and Red and Blue Superman are available. Apparently people don't want them too bad. Well, I just showed you McFarlane is sold out, but that's another factor to take into consideration, is that sometimes when it's sold out on McFarlane, it's not necessarily because it's super sought after. You could still find it in other retailers, like I said, Amazon, GameStop, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, your fan channels. But when it sells out on McFarlane, the extra factor is that you also want to ask yourself, do you want to get it quickly? Why not get it from the source, McFarlane Toys? But lately, that's also been kind of a little bit on the toss-up, where there's been some shit that has come first from Amazon, and you've been finding in Walmarts before McFarlane. Batman Forever Wave. There were some people getting theirs from GameStop, I believe, first before McFarlane shipped theirs out. Like, what the hell? And then the wave for the Adam West Batman, the Dick Grayson Batman Reborn Batman, and the Batman Superman Fusion, those three notoriously kept getting found along with their platinums in Walmarts. People were like, oh my god, these Walmarts, they're all like, they got these figures that McFarlane still says is going to ship in a month. And if you guys want to get a little bit of a much more direct to source kind of explanation as to why this happens, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a YouTuber / toy store owner named Nerdzoic. He has a video that he just made recently where he debunks certain myths. And one of them, he could legit not debunk this myth. He just said that it's kind of like a yes and no situation, where some retailers will get figures before others, and sometimes those retailers will get them before the manufacturer themselves can ship them out. So in this case, McFarlane Toys shipping them out from the Las Vegas headquarters, and then sometimes with Marvel Legends, they start popping up in Targets before Hasbro Pulse sends them out through their portal, through their whatever, like, or Big Bad Toy Store. That's why sometimes when McFarlane drops a pre-order, when Marvel Legends drops the pre-orders, sometimes the Big Bad Toy Store stuff goes like that, even though Big Bad Toy Store sometimes charges like an extra $1 or $2, and they have that. But the reason for why they do that is because they have the flat rate shipping, $4 across the board. Bam, that's it. And the only exception is if you order like a giant thing that's like a Hot Toys Batmobile that's like this size, then I think there's like an extra few dollars for shipping. And then, of course, you have your options to get it even quicker for extra money. But your flat rate is $4. So you can bundle in like 5 McFarlanes in one case. But as long as like the weight is not crazy, $4. Boom. Guess they found some under the floorboards? Possibly. I know that sometimes that happens. Oh, there's an ad. All right, I was just able to skip the ad, so you guys should be able to as well. Question: is it me or this BVS Wonder Woman is kind of dry in colors compared to the Shazam and Wonder Woman 84 ones? Hector, you are correct, but if you want to get super devil's advocate, it's supposed to be. Because remember what everybody was saying, how muted her costume was in BVS when she showed up at the end of that movie, and also because of the way that Zack Snyder just overall likes to color grade his movies with his DP. Yeah, she is definitely dry in color, but she's supposed to be. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is supposed to be BVS Wonder Woman. She's going to be more muted down. So compared to how she appeared in Shazam and in 84 and even in her own standalone movie, yeah, don't expect the colors to be that bright. So it's not just you. The colors are like that, but frankly, they're supposed to be. Yeah, Comic-Con was chill. I picked up the Walmart's Azrael. They had him there? Must have been a vendor, right? It's about 40 minutes away, and the subway was packed with cosplayers. And yeah, I've been to Tamashii Nations a few times. It's hype. Yeah, because recently they announced that they were going to have the upside-down figure arts across the Spider-Verse Miles and Gwen, which are pretty much the exact same ones as I covered on the channel, but the only difference is that they have like a shinier coat of paint on their costume, and they come with extra, I don't know if they're extra heads. No, I think they are because they're kind of looking at each other, so it's completely different head sculpts. But they got extra head sculpts where the hairs... Well, with Miles, he's just looking to the... Because of the way that his hair is styled, it doesn't look any different. He's just looking at Gwen kind of like this. Gwen is now looking at Miles to her left or to her right, one of the directions, so that they work with each other. But her hair is sculpted to look like it's hanging upside down. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty certain that there's people on like Mercari or eBay selling the heads by themselves. And I'm like, depending on the price, maybe I'll think about it. Because I don't want the figures themselves, but the head sculpts? It was also way bigger this year. I had trouble finding the McFarlane panel. Really? Like, the vendor stall or the panel when he was hosting? Yeah, I don't know what it is, but this is another reason why I don't do streaming all that much. Is because when I talk for like a really long time, but consecutively, I get like a little lightheaded. So that's why I'm taking a break here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Holcon was way bigger than it was at the Javette Center. I have no idea what the Javette Center is. All right. Yeah, I don't know what. I definitely have some health problems, but I don't know what this one exactly is. Let me see if maybe like. It's so weird. So you saw how I just like talked for like 20 minutes straight. I don't know what it does, but it's almost like I don't get oxygen and I start to get lightheaded and almost even dizzy. I had to kind of like take a break and walk away and get some sunlight from the window over there. Like I don't know what it is, but I just start feeling it. And I'm like, why does this always happen when I stream? It always happens when I stream. But when I do YouTube videos, hey Big Rib, welcome. Yeah, now I'm doing better. I had to, like I said, take a break, not talk for a while. But I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if I dehydrated or probably. Even though, like I said, I'm drinking coffee. But granted, I understand that coffee dehydrates you. Technically, I just needed energy, and I just finished breakfast not too long ago. But I don't know. I don't know. But I just noticed that this happens almost every time that I stream, almost every fucking time that I stream. But when I do regular YouTube videos, I'm fine. Like I don't know how live streamers do it. Like talking about things for like this amount of time straight. Inhaler? No, because it's not breathing. I can breathe fine. But what I do realize is that right now when I was taking a break and standing and sitting by the windowsill just to let like sun kind of hit me to kind of rejuvenate me a little bit, being in this dark room for a while, I can feel the blood pumping through my head. I know that sounds weird, and when I say feel, not like actual like dun 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 like that, but I can just like, the traditional coursing that you can kind of get right here and right here. Like I can feel blood. It's almost like oh, actually, you know what? This is probably the perfect example. I feel like I've been hanging upside down, and you feel like that feeling of like, and look at that, my hands are getting clammy and sweaty. Sorry, that's a lot. But yeah, when you hang upside down and you can kind of feel the blood rushing to your head, and you're kind of like, oh, like that, like not full on dizzy, but just kind of like, blah, blah, blah. Like you need to shake yourself off it. That's how I was feeling right now after just talking for that long. It's like, okay, am I just not used to talking consecutively this much, or is there such a thing? Is there really such a thing as stream stamina, where I need to kick up my stamina game? Because Jesus, I simply do not get it sometimes. All right, so let me look at the Google Keep. So we kind of touched on a little bit of what went up for pre-order, right? Which was the BVS line. What went up for pre-order? What and how did we get it? When will it actually come out? So what are your guys' impressions of the Batman vs. Superman releases? Or at least the reveals that went up for pre-order, I believe. Most of them went up on Friday morning. So that's another thing too, is that I'm also rather behind on sleep, because both Thursday and Friday I had to wake up at 9 to get some of these pre-orders locked in, because on Friday we had the bulk of the BVS line, which was Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman in his armored suit, Batman in the Nightmare outfit, and then of course the Doomsday Superman 2-pack. So let me see. Actually, yeah, let me pull up Twitter, because I saved a thread. At least I think I saved a thread. Nope, that's Twitch, not Twitter. An overwhelming W, says Big Rib. Yeah, it was kind of nuts, and to be frank, I almost kind of didn't believe that he was going to revisit the BVS line. But at the same time, I feel like our first hint of him doing it was when he did the proper BVS suit, even though it's still a little too blue, and of course you don't have the Ben Affleck license. But when that BVS Batman came out, I think it was in March or April of this year, I think that was the first sign that he's like, I think I might revisit the BVS line and do it. So I don't have I have a thread of New York Comic Con, but I don't have a thread of the BVS line, so screw it. All right, so basically, yeah, like I said, we had, let me go back to the McFarlane site. Bam. So, okay, let's ignore this for now, because even though I'm going to touch upon it just a smidge a little later on. But in both Thursday and Friday, mostly Friday, we had Wonder Woman that has now muted, some slightly muted colors and a bit more of a frown on the look. But of course, she's got the shield that is now doesn't have the W, but has like the little design from like the museum or whatever from where she came from. The lasso and the sword. Let's punch in on that. Ooh. Yo, are you guys noticing this? If you look at the box, there's going to be some new artwork in the back. Because you have the card right there. Can I blow that up? I can't blow that up. I mean, obviously, I like the clean look of the box on the sides with this little like gold trim. I do like that. I do like that McFarlane has been going a little extra when it comes to the packaging, where the dimensions and the overall template of the packaging is the same, but he's now sprinkling, especially with the movie stuff. Kind of wish he would have done something with Batman Forever. I'm a little disappointed he didn't do anything with Batman Forever. But with Batman and Robin, you know how it was a little bit red on the corners? And now with BVS, it's got that gold light shining trim on there. And I'm like, I kind of dig that. I actually really do like that. But what I'm also noticing, apart from the posters there on the back, if you look a little closely, it looks like there's a little bit of a different stencil design on the back instead of the traditional DC Multiverse thing. So I wonder what's in the back there. Is it just BVS design? I think he's just doing BVS. Because right there, kind of where my mouse is, I can make out the memorial statue of Superman. I was about to say Spider-Man. Superman. Where he's like this. So I think it's just a BVS pattern in the back. Which on the one hand, I'm like, oh, I thought it was like a brand new change to the DC Multiverse background. But at the same time, I'm going to keep the door open. That way it can kind of ventilate a little bit. Maybe that's what I need. But at the same time, I'm also kind of wondering to myself, like, does this mean we're going to get more down the line where he's going to change up the backgrounds? Interesting. Let me go back. But, yeah, oh yeah, you can see a little bit more here on the Doomsday 2-pack. Right there in the back. And this time he's going to come with the spear and a cloth cape. And it looks like, once again, he's got the more muted look to his suit. But on top of that, it looks like the exact same figure we already got from the Justice League release. More or less. It's a little shinier maybe, but again, more muted down in terms of color hue. And I can tell because he's got those ankle joints. I can see the ankle joints and the wrist joints and the oversized hands. Look at those hands. Christ. So, which leads me to believe that, well, along with the one other very glaring factor, you'll notice that all of these are labeled with November release date. Pre-order ships November. Now, they put that to be on the safe side. But my theory is that, quite honestly, don't be surprised if they start showing up at like Walmart or Targets within the next, I was gonna say week, like towards the end of October, leading into Halloween. I would not be surprised if you go on either the McFarlane Toys Facebook group or the McFarlane Toys subreddit, and you, like I said, between now and the 31st, so within the next 9 to 10 days, you'll get someone saying, yo, and it's the BVS line out at a Walmart or a Target. Because I think these things are already out in the wild. They're probably in some trucks right now. Even though it's still marked as pre-order, ships November. Why? I think it's two glaring factors. One of which is the fact that there's already some people have them in hand overseas, specifically China, where I think it gets manufactured. You already have some inbox photos of some people like taking photos of them inbox prior to the official reveals that we had here on Thursday and Friday. And then on top of that, they have in-hand photos of the Platinums, which, to be honest, I don't think the Platinums are all that great, except for one. There's actually one that I look at and go, if I see that in store, I actually might pick it up, which is the, there's an ad, so let me wait for the ad. Okay, I was able to skip the ad, so I think we're good on that. Mostly the Platinums are okay, except for the False God Statue Superman. That one is different and unique and eye-catching enough that I'm like, that one I actually might pick up. I like the False God spray on the chest, but he's overall silver to look like the memorial. I'm like, that's actually kind of neat. I kind of dig that. But the green hue Superman, just like that, what I like to call the piss Batman from the Injustice 2 set, I don't care for those. I really don't. The ones that have like the little spray to make it look like light is beaming off of them, I never like those kind of Platinums or those variants. For any action figure company, really. Not just McFarlane, but whenever Mattel used to make them, when Hasbro makes them, I'm like, get that out of my face. I don't like that. So for the most part, I feel like the Platinums are like whatever's, except for the False God one. That one actually looked kind of interesting. But there's already, like I said, in-hand photos of those guys. But the other, I think, the thing that we also need to acknowledge is that a good chunk of these figures already exist. Superman, Wonder Woman, these are like remasters of pre-existing figures. The Nightmare Batman is pretty much the BVS Batman that we got at the beginning of this year, except he cut out the cape and put on what is traditionally the trench coat you would get in something like the Dark Detective Batman. So just retool it to him. Maybe add the scarf and the goggles and the gloves. But apart from that, that's it. And then the armored Batman, I wouldn't be surprised, get a close-up of it here, if he took the armored Batman from Dark Knight Returns, the comic one-ish, and just kind of retooled it in a way. It used certain pieces, but mostly also retooled it and chiseled it to resemble the BVS one. And then, of course, added the head sculpt and the cloth cape. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So considering how a lot of the work has already kind of been done, combined with already a lot of in-hand photos from overseas, I think these things are ready to go for the most part. So, again, don't be surprised if you hop on either the Twitter or the Instagram. Twitter, kind of. But the McFarlane Toys subreddit and the Facebook group, and some bastards already like, yo, I went to Target to go and buy dog food, and look what I found. And then somebody in the comments is like, did you get the dog food? And he's like, no. But they found the BVS line. So, yeah. So, yeah, as far as, like, release window, it's labeled for November, but don't be surprised if it's coming a whole lot sooner than that, because most of those figures are already kind of set. My impressions is that it definitely checks boxes of some some BBS figures that we've been wanting. However, with me, the one that I really, really wanted was a traditional BVS suit Batman, and we already got that at the beginning of the year. So these were more or less on the supplementary side. I'm definitely going to be covering them. That's why I put down my pre-order. I pre-ordered at 9 a.m. I put down pre-orders mainly to the McFarlane toy store, but also a couple of did I hold on? Let me check. Did I put Big toy store? I did. Big Bad Toy Store. Did I do all of them or just a couple? Oh yeah, I did all of them. Big Bad Toy Store. I did do Amazon for sure. Did I do Entertainment Earth? I've been feeling a little sketchy when it comes to Entertainment Earth. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I'm still putting affiliate links because I figured why not? Some people still probably like them. But me as a consumer, I've been a little weird with Entertainment Earth because, like I said, sometimes they send out shit without telling you that it's about to ship out. They just ship it, and I'm over here like, hold on. I kind of forgot that I had that pre-ordered. Why did you not let me know? Big Bad Toy Store sends out an email saying, hey, we're about to get this thing, just letting you know, and we're about to charge you. They give you a little heads up. But Entertainment Earth doesn't do that. And then on top of that, I hear that they're not the best people to work with when it comes to owning a store. When it comes to being a storefront, whether it be online or physically, Entertainment Earth is a little jippy. And I guess I must have remembered that night. I'm sorry, that morning. Because I did not pre-order the BVS line. Thought I did. With them. I wonder if it's still available, though. It looks like there is. And then along with that, if you guys were interested, he also unveiled a 1/6 scale resin statue of the BVS Batman. Let me show it off here. This guy. Do any of you care for the resin statues by any chance? It's $250. I've talked about this in, I can't remember if it was either a different live stream or a different video, but I've talked about this before where I'm like, at $250, Mondo does 1/6 scale figures for about $250. So why doesn't McFarlane, is McFarlane ever gonna touch the 1/6 scale figure territory? For that price, you might as well. Sure, it's not going to be as detailed, as well sculpted and solid as a resin statue, but I'd rather take the functionality of being able to articulate the limbs and get accessories and things like that over a statue that is top quality, but it's a statue. It just stays there on the shelf. Looks cool. Can you do anything with it? No. Oh, I really don't like it when it does. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Can I blow this up? Yes, I can. Kinda. So, that's mainly when it comes to the BVS line. But a day before the BVS line, there were also some other pre-orders that went live that I had to wake up for. One of which I actually did not have to wake up for. I was very thankful to learn that this didn't go live until 12 in the afternoon. So I was like, all right, sweet. And that is the Walmart exclusive stuff. The Walmart Con, whatever they were calling it. Shout out to Preternia. Preternia has saved me an awful lot when it comes to links for figures and collectibles and things like that. So shout out to Preternia over on Twitter. as well as Instagram. He, she, they, whoever they are, they're on social media platforms an awful lot, and I appreciate them. So I remember bookmarking this tweet where they were talking about the Batman Beyond and the Batmobile 2-pack from that series that has like light up sound. So it looks like McFarlane's going to be doing more light up sound features on their Batmobiles. So I'm expecting nothing less with that Batman and Robin Batmobile that they unveiled at New York Comic Con that we'll touch upon a little later. But yeah, this went live at noon Eastern, so that was 9 a.m. That was a no for me because I just didn't really see the appeal with that. So I skipped that. But the Nightmare Armored Batman, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m., that I did pre-order. However, I don't know how this went down, but this was an exclusive for, or initially, it looks like it initially was going to be an exclusive for Walmart, which is this 2-pack right here. I kind of touched upon a little bit before. It was an exclusive for Walmart for a good while, and then the day before, they were like, oh yeah, it's also going to go up on the McFarlane Toy Store. So I'm like, I'd rather just do McFarlane Toy Store directly from the source. And I've heard horror stories about Walmart, even if it's an exclusive, they still like mishandle this shit. They just kind of like take the boxes and just kind of like throw them. I've seen some pictures and, like I said, heard and read some horror stories of some people saying that this was like the Marvel Legends Venom, the retro card Venom. Some people getting them and they're like bent, and they were in-card collectors, in-box collectors, and they were like, what the fuck, dude? Like the box is supposed to be as clean as possible, and it was all bent on the flap of the card. And I was like, damn, dude, I would just open that shit. But so I told myself I'm gonna pre-order through McFarlane Toy Store, and I did, and I managed to secure my pre-order 12 noon. Apparently over at Walmart, this thing was gone in like seconds. Like nuts. It was gone in like seconds or maybe even minutes. Which I'm like, all right, you guys do know that this is also on the toy store, right? And it was up on the toy store for like another 30, 45 minutes, and then finally it was gone again on the McFarlane Toy Store. But yeah, so this went live. This for sure I wanted to secure so I can compare it to the originals, but also because of those sweet assortment of accessories there in the middle. How did McFarlane get away with this one? I don't know, because technically this is still DC Warner Brothers related. So I'm like, how? I'm still, I mean, maybe it's the labeling there in the corner where he says that it's not a toy. If that's all that it takes, then, well, goddamn. Sign us up. Do that with everything. You know? But yeah, these, and then you got the Jonah Hex, which looks kind of neat. And from what I'm hearing, some people are already calling this whole set, figure of the year material. But I'm not that big of a Jonah Hex fan, so I don't really care. Maybe if it goes on sale, because I know that the default version, which I actually kind of prefer because I like the more darker colors on Jonah Hex, goes on sale on the McFarlane Toy Store for like a slightly lesser price, then maybe. But outside of that, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. The figures are fine. I think Trenchcoat Batman is cool, but I think a future Damian, like from the new Trinity book or Batman 666, would be hype. I don't know what that looks like. What about Absolute Batman? I'm pretty certain McFarlane's going to make a figure out of him. Ooh. Batman 666. I could see it. Actually, somebody already made a custom, a mock-up. Let me show you guys. Basically, the Hush Buck. I mean, I'm sorry. The Hush figure, the actual Hush figure, not the Hush Buck, but the actual Hush figure. And then I can't tell what that head is, to be honest. But then swapped out the colors. Huh. I could see it, kind of. There are so many BVS figures released, especially third party as well as McFarlane. I already have BVS Muff toys and present toys on pre-order. Do you like the new paint app on Darkseid with Throne or old release? Definitely he looks a little nicer in the newer one because it looks like he's, again, going for that Zack Snyder color grading muted look. And it's nice that he comes with the Throne, but I'm still just not moved, to be honest, with those figures. I just don't feel the compelling nature of it. Unless, like I said, I find it on sale. But right now, I just, in my like day one, I'm like, nah, not really. Especially with how stretched I am right now with money, it's like, nah. I need to prioritize what I know for certain I'm going to cover on the channel. I really like both $50 Batman and Superman statues. Are you talking about like the digital ones? Where it's like, it's not resin, it's just regular PVC piping. Asthmatic, welcome to the stream. They should have made a False God statue. That is kind of a wasted opportunity. Even though I personally prefer it being a figure because like I said, I just like figures better than statues. But at the same time, it being a statue in the movie, in the actual property that's lifted from, it's like, well, why didn't you make a statue to begin with? Granted, I think there's a lot of third parties out there or a lot of other different companies that have already tackled that False God statue. So there's also that. Okay, so what was next? Oh, well, we got that 2-pack label, but also another thing that just went crazy as far as the pre-orders going live on Thursday, to the point where Big Bad Toy Store actually was not working. I don't know if they were full-on 404ing, like 404 error, but the cart, I experienced this firsthand. The cart wasn't working properly. The site wouldn't load pages. It damn near broke the site entirely because everyone wants this figure. Wanted and currently wants. They're still probably scoping out the sites to see if it ever comes back in stock. And that is the Christopher Reeve Superman. Let me see if I got a picture of him so I can have up on the screen. Do I not have one? Damn, I really didn't save this one. But yeah, the Christopher Reeve Superman. Did any of you guys get the pre-order on the Christopher Reeve Collector's Edition? I did, but not with McFarlane. Because it would have just been at that Thursday. If I was to put down a pre-order for McFarlane, initially it was just going to be Superman. And so the shipping and the taxes, I'm like, huh, that's weird. It just would have added a little bit too much that just to make one order for one figure. And for a Superman, as cool as he looked, I'm like, it's Superman. If anything, he's going to get a short on the channel, not a full-on review. At least for now. So I didn't pre-order with McFarlane, but I told myself, if he's still available by the time that Nightmare Batman and Armored Batman from BVS 2-pack exclusive, gold label exclusive goes live, then I'll bundle them together. Unfortunately, that ended up not being the case because Christopher Reeve sold out within minutes. Probably not even minutes, maybe even seconds. Again, I'm trying to find like that little post that McFarlane likes to do. Here we go. Christopher Reeve Superman Collector's Edition. Did any of you guys get it? Is my thing not working here? Here we go. Tom Bowling, welcome to the stream. Oh, getting an ad. Guerrero's Fun, welcome to the stream. I just got the Fonjoy the Batman figure, and yeah, it sucks. Like I said, I can't bring myself to say full on that it sucks, but it's just such a disappointment, especially after coming off of the BVS Batman, which I really, really like. Neither, and to be honest, just classic Superman, but smaller. So I pre-ordered this, but like I said, I didn't do it with McFarlane. I definitely did on Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store because they don't charge until it ships. So I did secure pre-orders from those two manufacturers or those two retailers, and glad I did because, like I said, they went like that. Right now, you cannot find it on Amazon. Not, I think you could still maybe pre-order on Entertainment Earth and GameStop, but I think that's it. Those are the last two. Everything else is sold out, and Big Bad Toy Store definitely sold out. Even though, like I said, they're doing a little bit of that upcharge that I partially don't like, but also kind of get because they do at least the flat rate shipping, which McFarlane wouldn't have done, but I would have felt better if I could bundle it with the BVS Gold Label 2-pack. But by the time that Gold Label 2-pack went up for pre-order at noon, this guy, like I said, was sold out already by that point for like 3 hours. So I was like, all right, it's definitely have to be, but I'm still glad I woke up early. Otherwise, I would have missed out on him completely. So I got pre-order secured. I overall do like him, and I like the cloth cape. A lot of people have been in contention with the head sculpt, and I will admit, it's funny because in this angle, he looks good. In this angle, he doesn't. So I'm like, what is it about the angle that changes depending on the lighting? Here, it looks like him. I feel like it does. But then here, it doesn't. I will admit. And then you have the angry Superman 3 Evil Superman face, which I think looks better than this one, but is still a little off. Makes him look a little too... This is too wide, I feel. I still overall like it and still glad that I pre-ordered. Some people have pointed out that it does look... Let me see if I get another body shot. Here we go. This is perfect. However, some people have pointed out that if we're not mistaken, this is the Adam West Buck. Which, out of all the characters, if you're going to take a Buck and repaint it to be a Superman, it would be Adam West. Because at the time, Keaton hasn't taken over as Batman yet. So, in 1978, it really would have been Adam West Batman. And it would have been them two that would have been sharing the screen should there have been some kind of... Adam West, Christopher Reeve, and... why am I blinking on her name? Linda Carter. Linda Carter. For Wonder Woman. They would have been your Trinity back in the 70s and 80s. Mainly 70s. Yeah, so overall, I do like it, but I understand the criticisms. And one of them is that even though I really do like the Adam West Buck, you know, in terms of like the feel, the quality, there is still a little part of me that wishes they would have just gone with an original sculpt. But at the same time, it is Superman. It is the 1970s. So yeah, I'm still glad that I got a pre-order. But I can definitely understand people's criticisms. I do, however, like that he comes with two head sculpts. It's still definitely still living up to the collector's edition label or cadence as far as the cloth cape, the card, the collectability, the like 6 or 8 hands total, where he's got like the flying hands, gripping hands, fist hands. One hand, it looks like it's holding the kryptonite shard from the original movie. And then, of course, the 2 head sculpts. To be honest, we're slowly approaching that time where I feel like every almost, of course, it also depends on the character, but I feel like almost every character has to have a alternate head sculpt. And so far, they've been killing it. Like, Green Lantern is probably the best example of a character that needs... You could take the same body, but then do different head sculpts because they're all part of the core. So instead of having to collect different Green Lanterns and run up your bank, it's like, all right, let's just do 1 Buck and then you get the 3 heads. They did that, and I felt like that was actually a pretty good idea. Here you get one angry, dark Superman head and then one hopeful from the first two movies. I think when they did the Huntress, they didn't do different head sculpts, but they did face plates, so they're able to cut down on the cost a little bit, but still give her different expressions, which was, like I said, another smart move. Yeah, so overall happy with it, but yeah, I still think it was a little nuts that it sold out the way that it did, to the point where it was breaking sites practically. I was like, well, never underestimate, especially when it comes to nostalgia. Never underestimate nostalgia. Fabio, welcome to the stream. It's got that lantern jaw. David, what would be your favorite Superman so far? I guess it would be the one that I keep defaulting with for B-roll, which would have to be the Page Puncher's Constantine one. I don't know what it is, but I really like that body sculpt. Yeah, the hands are giant, and the face is a little pouty as far as the expression. But the build quality of the articulation and the limbs, and I actually do like the muted look. I don't know, he kind of has like a Superman Returns outfit, but it's a little bit more muted in the color that fits the Constantine wave. I'm like, there's something dark about it in a good way, very robust. So I guess so far that one, maybe. The Ben Affleck Batman torso comes apart on yours, Garros? Interesting. Mine doesn't have that problem. But then again, I hear that some people don't have the problem with the Fonjoy the Batman. Pattinson Batman. Surprisingly. His body has no shape, looks a bit weird. To be fair, Christopher Reeve didn't have all that much shape. He had it a little bit in the arms. But then when it came to like the legs and the abdomen, he was a little plain there. He definitely had arms and shoulders. And he was tall, which fit the Superman look. But was he like jacked? Not necessarily. Oh, unless he was shirtless. Like there's those clips of him working out in the gym, and you can kind of see him a little bit shirtless in there. I'm like, all right, dude was. I feel like he was prioritizing cutting more than he was bulking. I think. I don't know for certain, but it just kind of looked that way. I think they made the nose too big on the first head. You can add some shading to make it look like him. Yeah, I can see customizers going crazy with the Christopher Reeve Superman. Daniel Montero, good news. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man secured a pre-order on the Superman 1978. Nice. Yeah, he comes apart, and the Batman fig just feels the feet come off so easily. Oh, yeah, so your feet are coming. Phone's ringing. Let me go check out and make sure that it's not my mom and she's like stranded somewhere. All right. Okay. I haven't personally collected a McFarlane Toys figure since 2021. The last figure I got was the Snyder Cut Black Suit Superman. Yeah, that was definitely 2021. Well, Daniel, I think that there are a lot of good figures that definitely improved. Did you see the Detective Comics 27 first appearance? Like the six-pack Batman from the movies? Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I keep mentioning this in my videos that there's a number of examples where they really did improve on some things. It's more so like the executive decisions where we look at it and go, why'd you do that? But in terms of like quality of plastic and things that they just can't go back on, like the cloth capes is also another definitive example where I'm like, we're very seldom getting rubber capes now. Very few and far in between. I'm extremely excited for the Superman 78. This could almost be a stand-in for an ideal classic Superman figure. Yeah, like, they're very hard to come by now. He's so far back that he fits in there with Adam West, where it's like, what other option will there be? For now, at least. Alright, I think I'm done with my coffee. Oh, yeah, I am. Plus, I need to start hydrating, because then I'm truly going to start getting dehydrated. Yeah, Daniel, I'm right there with you, where that's why there's some Hot Toys that I'm selling right now that are for characters that I looked at back in the day, because some of these are legitimately like almost 10 years old. Well, not 10, what about 6 or 7 years old? And I'm like, do I really want this in my collection, or did I get it because I got it on a good deal or because it looked cool? And it ended up being like the latter. And I'm like, yeah, it's got to go. It's got to sell. It's not Spider-Man. It's not Batman. Sell it. You just got it because it was cool. That's more or less what I did. Okay, so first couple of topics are out of the way, so I guess we can kind of move on to the New York Comic Con panel for the McFarlane stuff. So did you guys keep up with the McFarlane New York Comic Con stuff? Because being in New York, they kept saying that they were going to go live with those reveals on like 1 p.m. or something like that. So I was like, that means 10 a.m. And when I woke up Saturday, it was already 11. So I'm like, didn't it already happen? And I checked their platforms. There were no live streams. But I was like, but the last platform I checked was X/Twitter. And I'm like, there's got to be someone who took pictures. And my man, Paternia, or woman, or person, whoever it is, sorry, don't want to presume, more than likely grabbed some screenshots and made a thread to tell us what exactly went down at the McFarlane Toys panel at New York Comic Con. And I'm like, come on, there's got to be some holy. And I was literally on the toilet, dropping my morning deuce, when I saw that they were, god damn it, I can't find, I didn't bookmark it? Wow. I bookmarked everything except the one thing that everyone was like, except the one thing that I, actually, no, let me not do Paternia. Let me do my channel. Go to my channel. Hey, look, I'm live. Community. Why does it still say community? It doesn't say post. Here we go. I posted this community post. Does it say the time? It says 3 days ago, but not the time. All right. Todd Father, you bastard. You actually did it. To quote Jeff Goldblum in Fabio, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm getting, like I said, my stream stamina, and I'm keeping the door open so that air can come in. Because, like I said, I don't know why I can't talk. Maybe I just need to breathe more. I don't know. I don't get it. But I just get, like I said, winded and lightheaded when I talk. That's why I very rarely stream. I don't know what it is. I sincerely don't know what it is. I was feeling completely fine. But I don't know. But I'm fine now. But thank you, Fabio. Yeah, I agree, Daniel, about the whole being financially wiser and all that. No, but yeah, I literally posted this on my community tab while I was, like I said, on the toilet. Cause the night before, my girlfriend gave me a tea, one of these like digestive teas that help you help you moving things along, and it kicked in Saturday morning. I'm like, woo, time to move, boys. So there I am sitting on the toilet. I open up Twitter/X, and Preternia posts this photo from the panel in New York Comic Con from McFarlane. And he's actually doing the goddamn Batmobile that I even made kind of poked fun of at the end of my Batman Forever Batmobile review, where I tackled that Batman Forever Batmobile. I even said, I'll be damned if he does the Batman and Robin giant Corvette thing. But if he does, oh, we got an ad. All right, I was able to skip it. You guys should be able to skip it. But if he does, it's got to have lights and sounds features. From what I can see, it's going to have lights and sounds features. So there it is. Some people are pretty nostalgic about this. I'm kind of not. I'm more nostalgic about the Forever one. I don't know what it is, but I really love the Forever one way more. And this one, it got a little too, as Schumacher would call it, toyetic. I don't know. There was just something about it that I'm like, I guess. Like, I didn't think it was terrible, but I was just like, it's a try-hard vehicle. A try-hard Batmobile. Let me see. Can I blow it up? I can't. But yeah, I posted this, and yeah, a lot of you guys, 232 likes. Pretty impressed. A lot of comments. So, yeah, but nevertheless, I will have to, because since I covered almost every Batmobile up until this point, almost. Emphasis on almost, because I know there's a couple that I missed, like the White Knight one. I just don't find it all that appealing, and for $100, I'm like, you already got Batmobiles that have lights and sounds features for $100, so for $100 for the White Knight one, but it has no lights and sounds, it's just a vehicle. I'm like, I hesitated, and to this day, I still haven't gotten it. And plus, I'm pretty certain I'm missing some other Batmobiles, like at least one or two, maybe three others. But with the movie ones, I've been covering all of them, so I'm gonna have to get this when it goes live. And it says fall 2024. A lot of people have pointed out that fall 2024. Actually, I think somebody in the comments even said, "There you go, platform 14, fall 2024. That's now." And so someone pointed out that probably within these next couple of weeks, don't be surprised if pre-orders go live for this guy. Or he announces that pre-orders are about to go live. Because I would say maybe in the next week. Because the fall, I guess officially November's still fall. It's once we get to December that winter starts. So still got time in November. But yeah. Batman and Robin. What do you guys think about this? Batman and Robin Batmobile. I guess you have to, right? Because after that, you got the Tumbler, which we already got. I guess this means we have to skip Dark Knight Trilogy and go to... If he's doing the BVS stuff right now, then he's got to be cooking up the BVS Batmobile, which, hot take, is probably my least liked Batmobile because there's just very... It's like the least Batmobilist. It's just some kind of UFO-looking car or vehicle. I'm sorry, but that's probably my least favorite Batmobile is the BVS / Justice League because it just looks like some kind of military vehicle. And you could argue the same thing about the Tumbler. Don't get me wrong. I can see how the Tumbler can kind of compare in terms of having the least bat qualities, but at least it had this very tanky, like, I'm coming for you. Whereas BVS, it just looked too slimmed down, too pared back, that I'm just like, it just looks like something that the Army's testing out. And it looks great too. It's not even like a full-on black. I don't know. Landon McQueen, a Superman and Lois figure would be gas? Oh, the Tyler Hoechlin. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't done one by now. I'm sorry, I kind of misread that as Lois and Clark, like the 90s show. I was like, why are we calling it back to that? But yeah, I'm still gonna get it. I'm just not as nostalgic with it as I am with the Forever one. Now, do you guys think that he's gonna throw in an extra figure like he's done with the Tumbler set and with the Forever set, or do you think that it doesn't call for it? Because notice he used the original Clooney Batman and Robin Batman, and even that. Well, I mean, in the picture for scale, and the label just says figure not included. So I'm assuming it's just gonna be the car by itself. And if that's gonna be the case, then I expect it to not be the full $100. It should be probably 90. So cut at least $10 off of it, maybe even 20, 80 to 90, maybe halfway across, 85. Maybe. What do you guys think? Oh my god, did I not save that either? I'm an idiot. Because the next figure I kind of want to show off here, I know he did a post, but I didn't save it for some reason. There it is. Found it. What about the Batman car? What Batman car? The Arkham Knight Batman would... Oh my god. And we're not talking about the Arkham Knight... Oh, you are talking about the Arkham Knight. Gotta be honest, that one's a little too tanky. I want to see, as I mentioned in the retrospective video, I want to see more representation for the Arkham Asylum Batmobile. The Batmobile that only appeared for like a few scenes and gets kind of totaled there at the end. Spoilers, but he totals the car trying to dispatch Bane. We need more of that Batmobile. I really like that Batmobile. Probably more so than the tanky one from Night. I don't know what it is, but I want to see more of that. And then the Robert Pattinson Batman car. I feel like he's warming up to that one. We got the bike. He's got to do the car. Batmobile is cool. I personally won't purchase. Don't have the money or space for it. Yeah, it's probably going to be a beefy one. Because like I said, they were going for a very toyetic look to those Batman and Robin vehicles. Especially the ice ones that show up at the end. Do you think McFarlane's going to make those? Christ. Daniel, is anyone interested in Gotham Season 5 Batman figure? That wasn't Batman. That was just man. Good lord, they were trying to rush for him to wear the suit. Come on. This ain't no Smallville. That was deplorable. I'm sorry, Daniel, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Yeah, I cringe every time I see that scene. I didn't even finish the show. I watched the first 2 seasons and that was it. Or 3, actually. I think it was the first 3 seasons. But after that, I was done. I was like, this is not working for me. Especially after all that bullshit they kept doing with Joker. It's his brother. But then he has another brother. But then he has another brother. I'm like, come on. Ooh, Daniel, on November 30th, I'm going to Northeast Comic Con and Collectibles Extravaganza as Peter 3. What's Northeast? Where's Northeast Comic Con located? Because Northeast kind of sounds like New York, but I mean, where would that be? Man, it's bad. I know. That's why I'm trying to insult the Gotham one, because even though he did have the ears, it just looks like he's like struggling to just stand there like, oh, I'm wearing the suit, I'm happy. It's like, no, come on, man. Oh, the Christian Bale bat. I think that might be a bit too big. Well, no, I take it back. I take it back. I was gonna say that's too big, but the motherfucker made a $250 bat wing, which I think is still in stock. So maybe he should probably price it a little lower, or make it an exclusive. I don't know. No, but I think the bat wing wasn't exclusive. Kenneth Bird, welcome to the stream. I'm excited. I want all of them. We all want all of them, but eventually we're not going to be able to. I wish. It's located somewhere in Massachusetts. Got to confirm where exactly. All right. No problem. I just curious. Just curious. Okay, so the next thing I kind of want to bundle together is how in the hell is McFarlane getting away? And I'm pretty sure there's an actual answer. I'm not asking that superfluously. I'm legitimately curious how he's able to get away with this, and I'm glad that he is to an extent. How he's getting away with some of these figures having weapons and things like that, and it has to be more than just a simple 17 plus not a toy label, like the Joker 2019 double pack or set or whatever you want to call it. He says that this has been given an update, except I don't see the update. I don't know. Do you guys see the update? Because it says sample not final, product render not final. It looks like the Joker is an actual figure now. Because I saw this get revealed at the actual San Diego Comic-Con because I was in the audience when he was doing the panel. If I remember correctly, everything that you see before you here was a 3D render at that time. Now, though, it looks like both the set and Joker are actual figures. They're still samples, but they're actual figures. They look like they were actually 3D printed. Whereas Murray is still a render. That's why it says product render not final. But yeah, it's interesting that on it, he also has this new label that didn't appear at Comic-Con, which was the 17 plus, not a toy. Which probably means that this is not going to be sold at Target or Walmart. This is probably going to be either a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, or it's going to be an MTS exclusive, and then maybe BBTS and Entertainment Earth. And that'll be all. Did you see Joker 2? Nope. Let's just say word of mouth got to me quicker than me being able to go see the movie in terms of scheduling. And eventually, of course, when I opened up either Instagram or Twitter, I got spoiled. But I gotta be honest, wasn't all that mad. I was like, you know what? Save $60. Pfft. And because of how even I felt about not even seeing Joker 2 and not even bothering to go see it, which then, results in the movie getting, bombing and barely making its money back globally, which, you know, we can all throw out the theories as to why that was, if it was done on purpose by the director, etc. But this puts into question how much of this McFarlane is going to make, because I got to be honest. McFarlane, Todd himself, was kind of gassing up Joker quite an awful lot to the release of not just this, or to the reveal of this, but also every time he talks about Spawn, the movie, and how it's being written, and the fact that it's going for the R rating, and how he kept saying that this was going to make a lot of money because the first one was going to make a lot of money, and now we're like, that didn't age well. Those statements by Todd did not age well. I gotta be brutally honest. So it makes me wonder how the distribution of this set is going to be. Limited quantities, really high price, and definitely no other things being made beyond this. I really doubt he's gonna make anything else from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker beyond this. Gotta be honest. For the Comic-Con, I even puff painted my Peter 3 suit to be more accurate. My gosh, did the quality increase? Upload shorts on the suit progress. Alright, Daniel, I might check it out if I have time. We'll see. And here's the thing. I was actually a proponent of the sequel being a musical. It was different. I was like, yo, it being a sequel means that it's going to at least feel different than the first movie. But then when I saw the actual plot points they were hitting, I was like, never mind. But the concept of it being a musical, I was actually kind of down. Even though I would have preferred it to be original songs instead of a jukebox musical, but yeah. But yeah, how do you guys feel about this set and how McFarlane is able to get away with it with the 17 plus labeling? Because this leads me to the other interesting reveal that I looked at and went, yo, this is interesting. This is neat. Which is, we can find it. Here we go. Something that I never thought I would see the light of day again. Considering the controversy. Considering that for a while, it was this figure that gave me my most viewed video on the channel before getting dethroned by the Across the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends versus Figure Arts comparison. But for a while, this was my most viewed video because I was tackling the nature of Warner Brothers coming in and saying you can't include this with certain Batman figures. But prior to that ban, McFarlane was able to dish out a Thomas Wayne figure. And now it's coming back. It's coming back. Thomas Wayne, it looks like he's now got a brand new head sculpt with him smiling. But Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, with an alternate unmasked head sculpt with the hair in a regular neutral face. But there's those two guns. He still has the pistols. They're not pulling off a Red Hood. He's actually gonna have the pistols. Even people in the comments, here for the guns? He comes with guns? Are those guns? Yeah. And I'm wondering if the reason for why he gets away with that is because now he's stamping the 17 plus not a toy, even though the company's called McFarlane Toys. 17 plus, not a toy label. Now, the only bummer, and maybe this is the catch, you could argue this is the catch, and gotta be honest, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this catch, is that this is still not going to be a standalone release. He's going to be included with the Zoom Flash figure, or Zoom figure, with the alternate weird screaming head sculpt, but it's going to be a double pack. CM Brock, welcome to the stream. That'll be crazy if they put out a movie just so it could fail. But they did. Joker 2, I mean, they kept saying back literally like years ago that they didn't want to make a second one, but then they said, oh, we're making a second one. So it's like, so how much do they pay you? They never said no. They never denied it was about the money. But anyways, yeah, we finally get Flashpoint Batman coming back again. Now, like I said, there's some changes that I'm like, it looks like they're going to be using the same body. It might be just a reissue. And like I said, the catch, there's two catches. One, he's got a cowled, smiling head from what I can tell. And he's going to be bundled with the Flash. So if you're able to look past those two, for lack of a better term, discrepancies, you get yourself another chance of getting the Thomas Wayne without having to pay scalper prices for its singular release prior to the WB ban. So, seeing this, I'm thinking to myself, what else can McFarlane now do as long as they put this little label saying 17 plus, not a toy? If they can do that, so what's coming down the pipeline? You know, what can they finally tackle that they felt kind of limited by in years past? What do you guys think? Well, you guys let me know. I'm going to go grab some water. Ugh. Water. Ice water. I fucking hope you don't make another 89 Batmobile with the... Wait, what? With the guns. What's wrong with the 89 Batmobile? I mean, well, I mean, didn't it have guns in the original? So you're saying that he should make another one with the guns? Now they can make a Deadshot? CM Brog, you have a point. An accurate Deadshot. An accurate Red Hood. An accurate Red Hood. Instead of this. What the fuck is this? Daniel, I'm seeing more and more people maybe they always felt this way, but a lot more people saying publicly that they didn't like the first Joker movie. I kind of understand it. I like it, but I don't love it. I've seen the word masterpiece thrown around, and even I won't go that far. I'm like, like I like it a lot. I really do. I like it a lot. Like there's some scenes that I rewatch, but have I actually seen the entirety of the movie since then? Not really. Not sure how I feel about the unmasked Reverse Flash figure, but that's something I know most people won't use. Would have preferred Red Speed Force effects. Actually, that's a good point. And keep in mind, that's a mock-up. That's a reveal. Like, they might still toss in pieces and things to be included later. Yeah, the unmasked head sculpt, they're doing that thing. I can't remember what it... I think it was an Aquaman figure where he came with a head that looks like this. Like a blow-up... yeah. I don't know why he keeps doing that head sculpt. Come on, man. George Savory, welcome to stream. Do you think we will get an updated 66 Batmobile since we have the Adam West and 7-inch? Now there's a chance. If he's doing Batman and Robin, which is so, like, audacious, the 66 Batman looks sophisticated by comparison. Minus the red trimmings, the logos, and then of course the siren, it's a pretty nice vintage looking car if you really look at it. And I'm like, I believe Todd is a bit of a car guy, so I'm like, why wouldn't he? So I wouldn't rule it out. I would probably say he might do that, and then jump back to the Future, of BVS, Justice League, Batmobile, which, like I said, is my least favorite Batmobile because I just think it's kind of whatever. It's just like this flat thing vehicle, and then maybe the Corvette-ish looking Pattinson Batmobile. Yeah, it'd be nice, or a Batman 2 car that comes with the two sides come off and comes with the car shield. You want him to Hot Toys it up? That would be sick, but at the same time, I'm also thinking about like the cost increase, the price increase if he does that, because that's just more plastic. If anything, I would like to see a 2.0 with the guns, proper paint applications, lights and sounds, and then that's it. The shield, I know it's screen accurate. I know a lot of people have nostalgic ties to it. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't care for that shield. I really don't. Yo, whoa! CM Brock, I am so sorry I don't have alerts because I gotta be honest, not to be all woe is me, but I just don't think I'm at the point to be getting super chats. CM Brock, thank you for the super chat of $10. I appreciate you. I gotta be honest, I feel like in terms of following, in terms of audience, I appreciate you guys, and I do acknowledge that I have a good amount of people to chat with and talk to when I go, if I were to go live. But am I thinking that I'm gonna be getting like a bunch of super chats and tosses to the extent of setting up an alert, setting up like a thing that shows up on screen? I haven't been compelled to, because I'm like, I don't think people are gonna. I'm sorry, imposter syndrome. I don't think people are gonna super chat me. I really don't. But then I see. That. Damn. No, did you say something? Did you mean to say something with the super chat, CM Bronc, or is that it? Because I don't see a message. But either way, like I said, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm gonna give that a like. How do I like it? Here we go. Any chance McFarlane will ever get a license to make his Spider-Man design into a figure? No. Daniel Montero, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you that right now, no. Granted, like I said, I never expected a Flashpoint Batman to come again, but I feel like that's probably the extremities of license stretching and hands being shaken. But the one that I personally don't believe in is that he's ever gonna make a Marvel Spider-Man figure, because when it comes to the 6-inch stuff, of course you have Hasbro, and they're gonna hold on to that with an iron grip the way that Disney holds on to Marvel stuff. It's not gonna happen. And then when it comes to the taller stuff like 10-inch, which is basically the sizing of the statues that you've been seeing lately come up with, like the 1/10 statues and the 1/12 statues, the Marvel pre-post figures, as McFarlane likes to call them. In that size, Diamond Select is in charge of making those figures. Speaking of which, let me actually pull up the Diamond Select figures that got revealed, because I also kind of want to briefly touch upon the Diamond Select stuff, because Diamond Select also had a presence at New York Comic Con. And for the most part, I didn't really care about what they showed. I got to be brutally honest. I didn't really care too much, except for this one tweet that Marvel Select did come up with. I mean, I'm sorry, not Marvel Select. Paternia. Paternia was kind of showcasing. So Marvel Select is going to be tackling the Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. So you have a Deadpool. I actually do have the Diamond Select comic book Deadpool up on top over there, which I really like. But this is the movie one. He even comes with the golden pistols. Sick. Golden pistols, alternate heads, katana. Wolverine with, well, he doesn't come with the alternate head, but you got the Wolverine. And apparently a concept art, so this is not the actual prototype, but concept art for a Hobgoblin. And a Carnage with the extended, nice looking head right there. That looks sick. I don't know how I feel about the color scheming though. Color scheme is a little weird. Not enough red, and whatever red you get is like an orangey kind of pasty, pinkish red. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I like it. The color scheme, at least. Sculpting looks awesome. Sculpting looks meticulous, especially that head sculpt where you have half his face with the Carnage job and then the other half with the Cletus face. That I like. And even this extended head right here. But it's that color scheme that I'm like, I'm hoping that it's just the picture that was taken here. Maybe seeing this in person looks a little better. But overall, I'm kind of like, if only we can get a touch-up of that. Hopefully they have enough time. Yeah, hopefully they have enough time to clean that up a little bit. Ooh, did we drop frames? I think we might have dropped some frames. All right, if I start talking kind of low a little bit, my mom is home. She's probably gonna be wanting to listen in. So, yeah. Even though we're kind of starting to wrap up a little bit here. Plus, the girlfriend just texted saying that she's gonna get started on dinner. So I'm like, all right, timing is lining up. So weird. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me double check. We're still not dropping frames, right? All right, we're still doing good. Okay. What do we got? Your thoughts on Venom 3 came out already? No, it comes out Friday. It's still not out. Still on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to see it, though. If I'm being completely honest. Cool Deadpool figure, looks cool. Wonder if we'll get more articulated than Marvel Legends. I might keep you posted on that, Daniel, because like I said, I'm kind of thinking about doing reviews on the Deadpool, and Wolverine, since it looks like Amazon is about to send them out. So, oh shucks, it's just that since he made a Spider-Man statue, I figured that he might get a license out. No, because he said at Comic-Con the reason why he's able to do this is because these statues are based off of prints or artworks, pieces of artwork that he designed. So he's able to look at these designs and go, I helped draw this. How about I make a statue out of it? Not a figure, because I know that's Marvel Legends, but a statue in this specific size. And I guess Marvel said, okay, you can do that. And that's all he's working with. Yeah, but no, that was it. That was, like I said, that's the statute of limitations with that. I hope we get the Penguin tank from Batman Returns with an army of penguins. I feel like Batman Returns might be the next big wave he might tackle. Like I said, it looks like he's going backwards. He was doing kind of sort of Batman Begins. He's surprisingly now going to BVS. But we had Batman and Robin, then Batman Forever. So I feel like, I guess Batman Returns is kind of the next. Hold on, I got an ad. All right. I would imagine that Batman Returns would probably be the next one. So a Keaton Batman, but with the Batman Returns suit, unlike the 89 version. Catwoman, Penguin, and the fourth figure would probably be Max Schreck, the Christopher Walken character. Yeah, because I'm like, what other character would they either him or that big thug that Batman kills, full on kills with the bomb that he attaches and he like smiles and he's like, yeah, that would probably be the next, the fourth one in that wave. That Carnage looks like a dark orange red. I don't think it even looks dark. It looks like a light orange. Spectacular stop motions. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I jumped ahead a little bit with the Diamond Select stuff, but going back to the McFarlane stuff. So there were some other reveals that I thought were kind of interesting. Going back to my thread, because like I said, I know I bookmarked them. And you can hear my voice is starting to go out. Like I said, I if anything, maybe I need to brute force it and just power through some more streams so that my voice gets used to it more, my cadence gets used to it more, and then on top of that, I'm able to last a little longer without getting lightheaded. Maybe that's the case. But going back to McFarlane stuff. So again, he made some reveals that I thought were kind of interesting. One of which is this one. Why does it keep doing that? Here we go. Justice League, the video game, Build-A-Figure wave. Huh. What do you guys think about this? This one's peculiar. So you get 4 figures from the game where they have a little bit of a reflective cel-shaded look. And of course, you're going to have your 4 main dudes. I'm sorry, but kind of surprising that there's no Wonder Woman. Was she on the cover? Yeah, she's on the cover. Look, the cover's over here. So it's based off of this game. Who developed? Oh, Sunsoft. Sunsoft did the NES Batman game that I really like. So Sunsoft, at least I think they did, because it looked familiar. But published by Acclaim for the Super Nintendo, Justice League Task Force. So it's based off of this game, which frankly is a deep cut, because when I saw this, I was like, what game is this? And then finally I see this cover and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I haven't played it. For sure I haven't played it. But I've seen it here and there in like retro stores and you know, Frankensons at, you know, Super Nintendo kiosks, stuff like that. But yeah, Wonder Woman is on. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm looking at her and I'm like, all right, now I know why that he didn't make a figure. He probably would have wanted, but some people would probably be upset these days. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Wish they were doing Wonder Woman and Green Arrow too. And who knows? Never say never. Maybe later down the line he will. But for this initial 4-pack so that you can make the Build-A-Figure Darkseid, I think she's showing quite a bit. And I think maybe that's why. Oh, at least one of the reasons. But, of course, you're going to have your typical Superman and Batman. Do like that Superman's going to be sporting the mullet. But then you have Aquaman and Flash. Kind of wish that Aquaman would have a much more neutral look to the hair. Because I get what they were doing. They were trying to go for the A, for the way that it kind of looks like in the cover. But B, it also looks like he's underwater. Kind of a cool effect, but I still kind of prefer the neutral look. Batman. Now, let's go back to my man Batman here. I can't tell. I can't tell. But is it just me? Can I zoom in? No. I mean, the font gets bigger, but it doesn't let me zoom in. Is it just me? Or that they're kind of looking a little like the Nightfall Buck again? Again. And it's mainly, it's funny because the top part, I couldn't tell. But I see the head a little bit. But then I see the legs. And I'm like, I remember having to pose the legs that way when doing the Nightfall 2-pack review and the original Nightfall review. I think it's the Nightfall Buck again. What do you guys think? And I gotta be honest, it looks like we found another definitive Batman Buck. Hush, I think at this point the Hush Buck is now retired, or has been dethroned as the #1 most used Buck. I think the Nightfall one, because I'm actually gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna do it this weekend or the next weekend, but I do want to make a Nightfall Buck or Nightfall figure ranking video. But at the same time, there's a part of me that kind of wants to wait because I know that there's going to be the Silver Age Batman, which is also using the Nightfall Buck. So I'm like, should I wait for that one to get released or should I just do it? And now we got this guy, and judging by this picture, it kind of looks like it's the Nightfall Buck again. That would put it at like what? How many do we have now? The 3 Nightfalls with different colors and different gimmicks. Bullseye's Batman. Bullseye Batman. Manga Batman. The upcoming Silver Age. If we are to include this one, that would put it at 7 uses of the Buck. And I believe that is more than the Hush. Actually, no, I take it back. I think Hush is now tied. You know why? Because I was mentioning that there were some other McFarlane reveals that I thought were kind of interesting. But then there's some others that I think are kind of kooky, as the kids like to say. And I simply do not get why McFarlane is doing this. I don't know why he's doing this. This puzzles me. What? Batman cross Monster vs. King Kong. It feels a little throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks kind of vibe. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry. My cat bookmark. Yeah, so Justice League versus Godzilla. And then Preternia quote tweeted it. Yeah, that's a kitty cat right there. Quote tweeted it with the official photos, which means this guy's probably going to go up for pre-order pretty soon, of the 2-pack. And look at that. It's the Hush Buck. So I think now we're tied again, because I think this is the 7th use. I might be wrong, but I think this is the 7th use. Or maybe 8th, because we just did the review for Hugo Strange, which is using the same body. So is this the 7th or 8th use? So maybe Hush is still in the lead, but the Nightfall Batman is still coming up there. But yeah, there's the Hush Buck again. Barely looks like anything got changed except it's gray and black. Head sculpt looks a little different. That does look like a different mouth plate. But that's it. That is literally it. And for good reason, because I imagine that with this partnership, Todd kind of thought to himself, all right, let me just take a pre-existing bug that I've made over and over and it's cheap to make and toss it in with the thing that we're really focusing on, which is going to be the King Kong body. Which doesn't look all that great as far as articulation, because it looks like he's pretty much stiff like that. But the detail's not too bad, and it looks like he's going to be coming with 2 head sculpts. Screaming and a neutral. So if you were ever thinking of McFarlane making a cool King Kong figure, well then there you go. Personally, it's not to scale. The picture makes it look like it's to scale. It's not. I think this is a little misleading because it makes it look like he's super huge, but it's not because Todd kind of ratted on himself there. That means that King Kong is about the size of a house, which is a giant ape, technically, but that's more Mighty Joe Young than it is King Kong. That's not King Kong. So, what are we doing? So yeah, that one was confusing. May just be me and my typical Parker look, but I don't bother toy hunting anymore. I can never find the figure I'm looking for in stores. Either always out of stock or I have to go to another store. I mean, Daniel, I'm kind of right there with you. I don't really do too much toy hunting these days, but I would figure that it's just becoming a bit more flexible to do on things like online, as far as like pre-ordering, knowing ahead of time what time pre-orders are going to go live, that kind of thing. That's how I've been doing it. I very seldom go on like these major hunts where I choose like an area and I'm going to be like, I'm going to go to this Target. You're spending so much gas and so much time that it's like, just keep checking the pages online. Maybe a wave 2. I'm going to pick up Flash. Oh, from the Justice League game site, wave. This wave looks interesting. That Flash caught my eyes, but where's Wonder Woman? Yeah, like I said, I don't know. There you go, George Savory. I just read your comment right now. Sorry. Yeah, he should be way bigger. Too much plastic, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely skipping that Kong 2-pack, but it's just a conversation to have. So, we tackled something that was genuinely interesting. Then we tackled something kind of confusing. Let's bring it back to interesting with more cowls. We're getting more 1/3 scale cowls. So winter 2024, so I'm imagining maybe as soon as December. The Batman Begins sculpt, which means maybe this is a sign that he's going to be going back to Batman Begins. So we'll finally get a Batman Begins Batman suit figure. A proper Scarecrow with the actual suit instead of the straps. Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson. What would be the fourth figure from Batman Begins? Commissioner Gordon. Like, come on. It's got to be Commissioner Gordon. So maybe this is a sign of that coming. Then we get a Detective Comics, the Batman 1939, so it's the first appearance cowl. And then we get another Hush. We get a Hush cowl. Didn't we get one already, or am I thinking of something? Oh no, I'm thinking of Nightfall. So, okay. I'm imagining that these sold a pretty decent amount since he's making more. Even I was kind of tempted because for $15 a pop, I'm kind of like, for 1/3 to kind of have it on like a shelf or like this background, especially if you're a content creator and you want like a cool looking backdrop, $15 each, it's not bad. Once you push it to like 100 for a 1-to-1, but you can't wear it, because once you get to 1-to-1, I'm sorry, but the expectation then becomes that you should be able to wear it. And when you can't, it's like, it feels like a cheat. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's bring it back to something that I thought was just weird. And I'm like, who is this for? Who the hell is this for? Here we go. Todd's Mods, which literally at the time of this stream just went up for pre-order this morning for $15 a pop, kind of like the cowls. And similar, I guess you could argue similar to the cowls, these are designed to be things that you just kind of put up on your shelf or on your desk as these set piece dress pieces, something to kind of like dress up your area. I don't know, but they're vinyl figures. They're not posable. They're meant to be like these very stocky, damn near paperweighty kind of items modeled after your favorite character. So you have the what looks like the Hush Batman, only with crazy proportions and a Frankenstein kind of look. Swamp Thing and Bane with giant, ravioli looking muscles. I mean, no, yeah, ravioli. No. Beef tenderloin. I'm starting to get kind of hungry, actually. But my question is, who is this for? Because I got to be honest, like, I'm over here like, who asked for this? And I feel like I might be answering my own question when you finally look at the name of the line. Todd's Mods. I think this is a side project for Todd that he just kind of wanted to get out there. I don't think anyone was legitimately asking for this. He just thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did like these little vinyl? I've always wanted these things on my shelf. Let's make them. And then after a while, he was like, well, if I want them, there's probably some other people who want them. Let's sell them. Mass produce. And that was it. I don't think it really went further than that as far as conception, as far as ideation. I don't think it really did anything more than that. What do you guys think? What the heck is that? Why are they so huge? They don't look very appealing. Well, that's the thing. They're not even that huge. I think they're like this big. But you mean in terms of proportion? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's, again, another legality that he's jumping by making them that exaggerated with the proportions to be like, well, if we were to make them skinnier, then DC will look at us and go, why is this not a 7-inch articulated figure? Because eventually you have to, they're going to jump into that contract and be like, well, you're starting to go into this territory, so you kind of have to go all the way because that's what the contract says. That's what I'm imagining. Speculating, I should say. Big Rib. Did I welcome you, Big Rib, to the stream? Welcome? I don't know if I did say that. Ooh, Big Rib just brought up an interesting point going back to the King Kong photo where they made it look tiny. He says they're using the small minifigure with the comic book pack to make the illusion with King Kong. So basically those little like 4-inch, I think they're the 4-inch ones, the page punchers. If that's the case, that makes sense. And that would actually scale. That's probably the loophole. If you really want King Kong to look the scale that he's supposed to, you need to use the 4-inch page punchers. That actually feels legit, but of course you're sacrificing detail and articulation in that sense. Last time I toy hunted was at the end of 2023 for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Marvel Legends figure. Never saw it in any Targets. There was one that listed it as in stock, but never found it. Daniel, when I say, check online, I mean fan channels. So McFarlane Toys, obviously the McFarlane Toy Store site, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, and maybe I'll throw in Amazon, even though Amazon's been sketchy sometimes when it comes to shipping, when it comes to delivery, handling packages, etc. But when it comes to like Target and Walmart, you need to walk inside. Don't go off the app. There's been multiple, let me grab the mic for this, multiple instances where I saw something in stock. I walked into Target, found it in store. App says it's not in stock. App says it's gone, that it's not there. But lo and behold, there I am, staring it right in the face. In fact, it technically happened last night, even though it was for something that I didn't really feel the need to pick up. But let me show you. I actually took a photo. Gold Label, Spider-Man, McFarlane Toys statue, pre-post statue, the $30 1/10 scale one, inspired by Amazing Spider-Man issue number 68, where there's like a protest going on, crisis on campus, and he's like swinging like this. Boom. Relatively new. I don't think I've ever seen it out in the wild. And there it is. App doesn't have any kind of listings for it whatsoever. But there it is. Saw it at the store. So yeah. Yeah, those Todd mods are just strange. But I think he knows it as well. That's why from reveal to pre-order, what was that, like 4 days? 3 or 4 days? Boom. They're already up for pre-order. And they're probably going to be shipping in like the next week or two. I can't imagine them requiring that amount of production time. Speaking of those Marvel statues, though, he did reveal more statues. Did I bookmark those? I did not. So let me go to Preternia's account. Going back to the Todd's Mods things, though, at least the boxes are actually kind of neat looking. Look at that. That's the thing, is that if I was to ever get them, probably stay in box. Because the box actually looks kind of neat. Yeah. And I like that the nameplate changes font and design. Oh, okay. So what was I gonna say? God damn it, I'm gonna have to scroll. Oh, the other statues that were also kind of unveiled. The other Marvel stuff. Here we go. Really, really quick, because I don't really have too much to say on these. Spring 2025, the next 1/6 scale figures are going to be the Thor and the Superhero Secret Wars Black Suit Spidey, which, I've got to be honest, if you're going to do this guy, he has to be in 1/6. He has to be the beefy guy. So you got him. And then in the 1/10, okay, those are the comics that they're lifted from, but in the 1/10, one more Spidey, because it sells. The interior from 302, I'm sorry. Captain America, although this is the Falcon version from All New Captain America #1. Cyclops from X-Men 1, so I think that's maybe a Jim Lee design. I might be wrong, but I think maybe he had to talk to Jim Lee and be like, hey, can I make a figure out of that? Daredevil out of number 800. And Storm from Marvel Tales. Kind of neat. Again, I still, after my run-in with the last ones and the whole thing with the AI backgrounds, if I have like expendable income, then maybe I'll jump back on the pre-post PVC statue game with the Marvel stuff. But especially with, like I said, Spider-Man and maybe a couple of other characters like that Daredevil. But apart from that, I'm still not moved all that much with those statues. You know what I did get moved by? You know what I did get kind of moved by? In more ways than one. I'm gonna have to get that jar. Even Preternia. Even Preternia messed up. Even my man Preternia was like, yo, what? Because when he posted this photo, the caption literally just says, Power Girl. And that's it. And then he followed it up. He commented saying, I would have mentioned Guy and Captain Cold, but they already put up the next slide, so I had to move quick. And I responded saying, sure, LOL. Like, I wouldn't have done the same thing, though. Yeah. I gotta be honest, I don't know about a pre-order, but if I see her in store, kind of similar to the Supergirl. Supergirl I didn't pre-order, but I walked into a Target one day with my girlfriend. We were out shopping. I can't remember what we were getting there initially for, but I saw Supergirl and I was like, I kind of like it. And I bought it. Might do the same thing with Power Girl. Truth be told. And it's looking fairly accurate. And it looks like she is going to be part of the collector's edition. So she's going to come with the cat. I got to be honest, can't remember the cat's name. But yeah, the cat. And I don't know if she's got to be coming with more accessories. I feel like this is probably an early render to just kind of give us an idea of what's coming. But I think later on when they finally announce when pre-orders are going live, they'll disclose what accessories she's going to come with, how she's going to look like as far as articulation, as an actual prototype. And judging by the reaction, I have the perfect jar for her. God damn it. But judging from these comments on the side, when all three of these go live for pre-orders, I imagine I know who's gonna be selling out first. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta lock in. 9 a.m. that morning. Hmm. Holy shit, I've been live for almost 2.5 hours. It's crazy. Never in my 19 years of life did I think McFarlane would make a Power Girl figure. I'm happy he did, though. Oh, ooh, something just crossed my mind. Well, kinda, sorta. Let's go back to this photo. The only slight reservation, because Daniel, you just said never in my life have I seen McFarlane make a power girl figure, and I was gonna retort by saying that, and he also gave us a classic Wonder Woman, a classic comic book Wonder Woman, and immediately like lightning that hit me. Ooh, is this a retool of the Wonder Woman? Is this a retool of the collector's edition Wonder Woman? Because the legs look kind of similar, and the arms, and even to an extent the head sculpt, except of course with a different hair. But now thinking about it, it might be. But again, just a 3D render for now. We'll see later on when actual promo shots go live. I wish I had a wired cape. Yeah, I did see that it looks like we're going back to rubber. Well, it still might be. It's a 3D render, so she might still be sporting the wired cape. Especially if it's going to be that short. If it's going to be a cloth cape, but it's that short, it's got to be wired. It's going to be way too flimsy if it doesn't have a wire inside it. Okay, so that's pretty much everything as far as the McFarlane panel, except for one thing that did bring up a little bit of a conversation. But before that, other stuff that they showed at New York Comic Con that was not McFarlane, like I said, some people were gassing up Marvel Legends, thinking like, "Oh my God, you know, they're showing this." And even though I thought it looked kind of neat, I'm over here going, "You realize that this is all that they showed, right? Like, what is going on? Why are we gassing this?" The Sentinel from X-Men 97. I mean, kind of neat. The battle damage head is sculpted nicely. You got some of the 97 figures right there to give it some scale. But at the same time, that was really all they showed for X-Men 97. I mean, I'm sorry, for Marvel Legends. Is it just me? And when I say showed, I mean in terms of like their panel. Because on the floor, they had this. They had a couple of other stuff that they did on some live streams. They had that black suit Spidey from Secret Wars with a little medallion thing. But in terms of like reveals, like talking about stuff, this is all they did, right? I feel like that was it. And furthermore, going back to my bookmarks, yeah, because look, I saved this tweet from Benny Rose at NYC. It's Benny Rose. Perfect. So credit and shout out to Benny Rose. He posted these photos, of which had the Sentinel. There you go. You have the 97 figures. Some Transformer stuff. Ghostbuster stuff. And then more photos here of some of that stuff that was revealed in some Hasbro Pulse live streams. Where you have the brown suit Wolverine Cap with the weird ass face. Creepy ass face. The black suit Spidey, which I gotta be honest, I did pre-order, I'm not gonna lie. Because it looks kind of clean. And then that classic Iron Man. But in terms of like what they talked about, that was kind of it. Because going back to my bookmarks, I have a couple of other stuff bookmarked here from NYC. But yeah, still, like, it kind of stops right here, and then all they did was just say, ignore the devilish kitty cat right here. Marvel Legends series will return for X-Men 97, and that was it, saying that there's going to be more 97 figures, X-Men 97 figures, and that was it. Like, yes, see, look, that's it. Hopefully more for the next wave. Is that it for Marvel Legends today? Okay, so they did set expectations. I guess I did miss this tweet. I still think it's kind of tone deaf to go through New York Comic Con and be like, okay, well, we're just going to put out this. Then don't make a panel. Why did they make a panel? I got to be honest. I feel like you're wasting yours and everybody else's time. Sorry, but some tough love needs to be given sometimes. So yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. But you know who had an announcement that I thought was kind of neat within their panel? And they had a lot of stuff to talk about. But the one thing that stood out to me and made me go, oh. Mondo is making 1/6 scale gargoyles. 1/6 scale gargoyles. So they're going to look similar to the animated series stuff that they've been doing, which the Venom just went live, I think today. The 1/6 scale animated series Venom. But they're also doing gargoyles. And I'm like, shit. Shit. Yeah, out of all the Marvel Legends stuff, Daniel, the black suit Spidey probably looked the best. That was on the floor. But yeah, we'll see what the pricing is, because I'll admit that Mondo goes a little crazy with the pricing, but what kind of balances it, doesn't fully justify it, but kind of rationalizes it a little, is the accessories. They always throw in a lot as far as what you can kind of swap in and out. So we'll see what they do with gargoyles, because I can see how much they do with the animated series stuff and the Batman stuff, for both Batman animated series and Spider-Man animated series. But with gargoyles, it's like Broadway with like some food and the trench coat, Hudson with like a book, but then that's it, Lexington with a computer, Brooklyn with his shades, but then the main guy Goliath, he very rarely comes with anything. But they're 1/6 scale Xanatos in that red and black armor suit. Right when I do that, I get an ad. Mondo also 1/6 scale TMNT. That could be cool. JBTM, welcome to the stream. It is the Nightfall body for Batman with a soft, good wired cape. Oh, were you talking about earlier with the video game, Justice League video game wave? Because it's looking like it. Yeah. The more I squinted, the more I'm like, shit. Alright, so I'm about to wrap things up here, guys, but I did want to end on a topic of discussion that I think is kind of interesting. Let's blow this up right here. I thought that this was really interesting to the point where I'm seeing paragraphs in the comment section. So I'm like, alright, yeah, this should be interesting. to the point where I might actually cut this out and post it as a separate video, even though my voice is about to go out, but it is what it is. Ooh, I almost did a whoopsie. Let's do that. All right, here we go. At some point in the McFarlane Toys panel, apparently, I feel like this is indirectly a way for McFarlane to acknowledge that there's been a little bit of a umbrage when it came to how McFarlane is distributing and actually labeling and dictating what is a platinum, what is a chase, and what is exactly rare, and what constitutes as a platinum and as a chase. Especially when I had, I guess you can say, a first-hand sort of a experience with this earlier this year, back in August, when I walked into the Walmart and I saw that giant load of figures that I am just barely now finishing on reviewing on the channel. And that was that big load that a lot of other people were finding across the country and were posting photos of on Reddit and the McFarlane Toys Facebook group, which was the giant wave that consisted of the Dick Grayson Batman, the Batman and Superman Fusion, the Adam West Batman, but along with that, the Walmart's Platinum Chases that some would argue weren't really Platinum Chases because they were brand new figures, such as the Hugo Strange Batman, the Bullseye Batman, and then the Batman Beyond DC Direct Batman Beyond figure, the tinier one, which I'm actually in the midst of editing the review for and should be going up sometime this week. And that's the last review. After that, I'm done with that whole, like I said, haul that I found at Walmart that night. Including all in that haul that I keep forgetting is the Lucius Fox Platinum from the Dark Knight trilogy. So a lot of people were like, okay, so what is the deal? Like, what is a chase, really? What is a platinum? And it looks like here at the New York Comic Con, McFarlane pretty much acknowledged the confusion. I don't know if he full-on apologized for it in the most formal sense, but he finally broke it down and gave us a way to differentiate the different forms of distribution with what is the Platinum Edition labeling going forward. Or at least starting next year, according to Paternia and according to what Todd said at the panel. This is going to start in 2025, which is that we have a regular figure, which he uses the Manga Batman as an example, and then the color chase, which is going to have the traditional silver McFarlane Platinum Edition sticker. And that's going to be basically the color chase, which is the exact same figure, but with a different colorway. Different scheme, different shades. Boom, that's it. Then, to then tell you that you're getting a unique chase character, you're getting a red sticker that is also reflective and still boasts the same logo, which is the McFarlane Platinum Edition logo, but it's going to be red instead of silver. Red instead of silver. Okay. And this will be used for figures such as the Hugo Strange Batman, the Bullseye Batman. I would probably say out of all the ones that we found recently, those are the two that I look at and go, okay, those would probably have benefited from the red sticker versus the silver one. Because those were like brand new characters that were like, okay, what is this? But they're very rare and you can't order them online. Like they're chased. Like you have to go and chase them down, hunt them down. I gotta be honest, I still think that these don't require they shouldn't be part of, well, initially I had a mindset that made me go, I think that this is just this is creating a solution for a problem that McFarlane kind of created. Creating a solution to a problem that you created in and of itself. because I feel like these brand new figures, like the one they're using as an example here, which is the Question, like he's literally called the Question. If he is a brand new figure, then why not just sell him as a brand new figure, as a standalone release? Put him up on the site, put him up on Target. But I guess in their desire, because I'm gonna be devil's advocate and say it's not just Todd. He's probably got a group with the marketing team and the design team and whatnot. They decided to take this figure and go, okay, he's going to be categorically a chase figure because we're not going to put him up on fan channels. It's not going to go up on Amazon. It's not going to go up on McFarlane Toy Store. We're just going to put him in some boxes and ship him out to Targets, Walmarts, and maybe GameStops. But now he's going to have the unique Chase character red logo. But then why not just release him online? You know how much gas is these days? And do you know how much, like, I personally believe that time is like a secondary currency. I'm now over 30 years old. I mean, my girlfriend's already throwing signs that she's going to want a kid soon before we exit the 30s. Eventually, I'm not going to have time to be hunting these things out. I know some people like that. And there's no right or wrong about that. You like it or you don't. I started to kind of phase out from the hunting, as you know, Daniel was pointing out there in the chat. So I'm not going to have time to hunt. If I really wanted a Question, I don't have time and or money to put into my gas, to then put into my car, to go to different Targets and Walmarts and track this thing down. So I guess I missed out on the Question. Otherwise, recently we had the Christopher Reeve Collector's Edition. He was available on Big Bad Toy Store. He was available on Amazon. Pre-ordered. Cool. Now I just wait. One toy front might have it over the other, but at least I know that it'll be coming. It's locked. My order is locked. Why not just do that with these characters? And again, it's a rhetorical question because I know that the straightforward answer he's going to give, or they're going to give, is that they want to feed into the collectability of having you hunt down the character. Which for a character like Question that's a bit more on the obscure side, okay, that makes sense. But it then becomes a slippery slope. When are we going to... Eventually, I feel like we're going to start getting those Supermans and those Batmans that are going to be having the red logo because they're going to be brand new bucks. They're not going to be using the Nightfall buck. They're not going to be using the Hush buck, the Dark Knight Returns buck. They're going to be brand new sculpts. But McFarlane's going to make them the red logo, unique Chase character versions. So that means they're going to go in some boxes, and you have to go to Targets and Walmarts to find them. Otherwise, you're SOL. And I don't think I have the time for that. I just really, really don't. So, at least we have a form of communication, a form of transparency. But one begs the question as to whether or not this is the answer that's going to be the end-all solution. Because, like I just brought up right now, I feel like... Yeah, look, some people are pointing out in the comment section, like, just make it easy, and this is not making it easy. Yeah, it's bringing up the collectability, but I feel like it just also enters a slippery slope as far as which ones deserve to just be color chases and which ones are going to get the red logo. And I'm over here like, this shouldn't be a red logo. There should be a wide release available for me to be able to just hit the pre-order button at Big Bad Toy Store, at Entertainment Earth, at Amazon, and then, of course, the McFarlane Toy Store. Because a lot of people will have that money ready to fork over. But if you're going to adding these hurdles, and we see the track, and we see all those hurdles that we have to jump to, but we have another track over here that doesn't have hurdles. We could just kind of either run or walk across. Guess which one we're going to do? And I'll have to criticize McFarlane for this one because it feels like it's, like I said, the fundamental consensus that I've arrived at is that he created a solution for a problem that he also kind of started. But what do you guys think? Let me know either in the chat or in the comment section if I decide to snip this out and post that as a separate thing, because at this current junction, I feel like this is going to create more problems than solve them. Earth 2 Robin and Catwoman both use the Nightfall body. Well, not Catman. Oh, Catman. Oh my god. I think that might be another one. Earth 2 Robin. Who was he? Okay. So it's been almost 3 hours. I think I'm going to call it there. Plus, a lot of people are dipping. And my voice is honestly shot. So I got to go see about a girl who's cooking dinner. I'm going to head out. And I'll have to go through the stream and see which bits I want to clip out. I'm also on the fence as to whether or not I should create a clips channel. But I don't know if I'm fully there yet. I don't know. I'll think about that. I'll also think about whether or not I want to make this like a weekly thing or a semi-weekly thing. I don't know. I have a lot to think about. But JBTM, Daniel Montero, Big Rib, George Savory, Spectacular Stop Motions. Did my page just freeze? Here we go. Oh, I think it's creating chats. Who else was in the chat? Fabio, Tom Bowling. Tom Bowling, once again, one of our executive producers over at the level 2 tier. Thank you for supporting, once again. Asthmatic, Lightning McQueen, Lee Troxel, JMH203 at the beginning of the stream. And then, of course, CM. Oh, my God. Let's refresh my feed here. Here we go. CM Brock. I think that was his name. Yeah, CMB Rock or CM Brock 1. Not only thank you for not only tuning into the stream, commenting, and chatting, but also for the $10 super chat. I was not expecting that, and I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was not expecting that whatsoever. And that really about does it. Like I said, my voice is starting to go out, but still pretty glad that I did the stream. I just got to kick up my stream stamina and my voice. That way I'm able to do this a little bit more on the regular. But until next time, guys, you guys know what to do. Stay humble. I'm out of here. Have a great rest of your afternoon, day, and look out for, like I said, reviews on the Gold Label DC Direct Batman Beyond that I found at Walmart all those months ago, or 2 months ago, going up this week, along with a couple of other Marvel Legends stuff. Some Across the Spider-Verse stuff that I finally got shipped over to me. Maybe the Deadpool and Wolverine figures. And maybe some snippets of this stream will go up as their own separate videos for those who didn't catch the VOD or the live stream. So I'll think about that. But that's it, guys. Take care. Stay humble. And I'll see you on